Alright, welcome back to another video of SAT prep. So I guess if you're watching this video, you're preparing for the March SAT, which is great because there's a lot of time before that, but time flies by fast. So let's begin. Question 2, or question 7, just read that wrong. An operation star is defined as follows. For any positive numbers a and b, a star b is equal to the square root of a plus the square root of b. Which of the following is an integer? So let's try all of the following to see which one is an integer. So choice A, right? I could see that b is equal to 5. The square root of 5 will never be a real number, so that's out. 9 works, so let's plug that in. So that gives us the square root of 4, which is the value of a, plus the square root of 9. Simplify that, it gives me the square root of 4 plus, what's the square root of 9? That's 3, giving us the square root of 7. Is the square root of 7 a integer? No, right? It's not a whole number, so b is out. Let's try C. So that gives me the square root of 4 plus the square root of 16, which gives me the square root of 4 plus the square root of 16, which is 4, which gives me the square root of 8. Square root of 8 is also not a perfect number, right? It's going to be 2 point something, close to 3, but not a whole integer. So let's try 7 and 4. So that's the square root of 7 plus the square root of 4, which gives me the square root of 7 plus root 4, which is 2, which is equal to root 9. What's the square root of 9? That's equal to 3, which is a whole integer, meaning the answer has to be D. We don't even have to try E because D works. Question 10. I'm just going to move sideways instead of in numeric order. If x minus y is equal to 5 and x squared minus y squared is 75, what is the value of y? So I could see x squared minus y squared, right? And that should ring a bell very quickly because x squared minus y squared is equal to the sum or the difference of squares. So x plus y times x minus y is equal to x squared minus y squared. You guys should memorize this. In this case, we have the value of x minus y ready. That's equal to 5. So it's the value of x plus y. X plus y is equal to x plus y times 5 should equal to 75, right? X squared minus y squared is 75 right here. So x plus y should equal to 75 divided by 5, which is 15. Now we have these two equations. X minus y is equal to 5. X plus y is equal to 15. Now in order to solve for y, I'll just subtract these two equations, right? When you subtract, x minus x cancels out. Negative y minus y should give me negative 2y. That's equal to 5 minus 15. 5 minus 15 gives me negative 10. Giving negative 2y is equal to negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 2, because negative 2 over negative 2 cancels out. Give me y is equal to negative 10 divided by negative 2, which is positive 5, right? Negative over negative gives me a positive number. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Meaning the question is asking for the value of y, and you have it right here. Meaning answer has to be C. Y is equal to 5. Question 8. A factory that is open exactly 25 days each month produces 64 engines each day. It is open. How many years will it take to produce 96,000 engines? So 25 days each month produces 64 engines per day. So how many days? Let's see how this works. So how many years will it take? So we have to convert months to years after. So 25 days, each day making 64. 64 times 25. So each month the factory makes, let's multiply this real quick, 320, that's just 8, 12, so 1,600. So each month the factory makes 1,600 machines or 1,600 engines. And in 1 year, each year it makes 1,600 times 12 months in a year, giving us 32, 16, giving us 19,200 as the total amount of engines they produce every year. So how many years does it take to produce 96,000? So I know that this is 96,000 divided by 19,200, which should give us some number between, should give us like 5.4, somewhere around there, right? It's not exactly 5.4, but it should be about 5.4, meaning that it has to be more than 5 and less than 10, right? That's the only category it fits. It's not perfectly 5, nor is it perfectly 10, but it's somewhere in between, meaning the answer has to be C. Question 11. Julie inherited 40% of her father's estate. After paying a tax equal to 30% of her inheritance, what percent of her father's estate did she own? So she inherited 40% of the estate. So write that as 0.4, right? 40% is 0.4 because all you have to do is move the decimal place 2 places to the left, and you have 0.4. 1, 2, 0.4 as your decimal. Or you can write it as 0.40 if you want, but that's basically the same thing. And now it says a tax equals to 30%. So she has to pay a tax equal to 30%. So technically, what percent of that does she own, right? So in total, 100%, she owned 100% of 40. Well, she took away 30% due to tax, meaning she only owns 70% of that. So how do you find 70% of 0.4? Multiply this by 0.7, right? 70% is, boom, boom, decimal place right here, 0.70. And when you multiply two decimals, 4 times 7 is 28. Two decimal places, or 40 times 70 is 2,800. And how many decimal places do we have? 1, 2, 1, 2. Add them up, that's 4 places. So 1, 2, 3, 4, giving us 0.2800, or just 0.28. So what is this as a percentage? Move it 2 places to the right. So convert from decimal to percentage. Boom, boom, giving us 28% as your answer. So this kind of deals with percents, and kind of, you can see how a tax is sort of like a sale. You take it away from the whole 100%. You have that number right there. And for our last question, question 12, for any positive integer n is greater than 1, n factorial. This exclamation mark represents factorial, and the question will explain what it means. Represents the products of the first n positive integers. For example, 3 factorial is equal to 1 times 2 times 3, which is equal to 6. Which of the following are equal to 3 factorial times 4 factorial? So what is 3 factorial times 4 factorial? That's equal to 3 times 2 times 1 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And when you do the multiplication, this is equal to 6 times, that's equal to 24. 6 times 24 is 144. Well, looking at your answer choices, is 7 factorial equal to 144? I know that 7 factorial is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is going to give you a number very much bigger than, I think it's going to give you 5,040. Should give you something like that, which is definitely not 144. So statement 1 is not true. How about statement 2? 12 factorial. 12 factorial is significantly bigger than 7 factorial, right? It's like at least a million. And so that's definitely not true. 4 factorial plus 5 factorial. What is 4 factorial? That's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 24. 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 120. What's 24 plus 120? That's equal to 144. Add these two up, and 144 matches exactly with 3 factorial times 4 factorial. Meaning your answer has to be only statement 3 is true. So only C is true. And that's exactly it. So thank you guys for watching this video. And if you guys want to do more SAT studies along the way, make sure to check out my other videos, especially the ones from December, which people seem to enjoy a lot. So thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Good luck studying.